tough game. Tough game, tough loss. Credit Villanova. They were really, they were just really, really good defensively. Made far less mistakes than we did, and and then they made all the critical plays in the last 8 minutes of the game where it's a one possession game. They were able to extend it to 10 and take advantage of some things. Gillespie's threes were huge. He was tremendous. Robinson Earl, tremendous. Credit to those guys. They just a really mature and just didn't make a lot of mistakes.
Wayne?
What was the nature of the injury to James, and how did that affect his shooting after he went down and came back in the game?
Yeah, he got a little nicked up, but they're pretty physical with him. He's a hard-playing guy. He just bruised up, banged up. I think more of his just issue today was fatigue, conditioning, and then as he got tired, probably tried to do a little bit too much.
Did you take more threes than you had planned on? You took 27 threes and 28 twos.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about driving it, a lot. They did a really good job of sitting in gaps, and they held up better on the ball. They won, they won those one-on-one battles when we tried to get downhill.
And conversely, what were the challenges they gave you at their end of the court, getting the ball in the lane, especially with the guards?
Yeah, I mean, Gillespie really hurt us, obviously. It's a tough matchup physically in terms of size. Obviously, getting RJ in foul trouble kind of took away the possibility of us getting that second scorer that we probably needed. But I didn't think our problems were at the defensive end of the court. Our issues were offensive.
Gavin?
Dan, talking about your offense, what particularly were they doing to keep you guys kind of under wraps?
Well, they were switching a lot. They were switching a lot. They were obviously really loading up to James. I think the lesson learned for us today is that we have to play offense. We've got to get the ball moving better. We can't. The ball just can't end up in James's hands. Just trying to bail us out. I think just collectively as a team, we've got to have a better approach. Obviously, we've got to get James the ball in a lot of different places. But I don't think that the ball moved quite anywhere near as well as we needed to.
Neil?
Dan, you had him bottled up pretty good from three all day. What did you do so well? I mean, aside from those Gillespie's ones late, what did you do well there, and how did you kind of just get free for a sec?
Yeah, I mean, we had to live with the brutal backdowns from the guards. The old Mark Jackson backdown stuff. And we just, as tough as it is to watch, Gillespie and their guards back you in under the rim and score. If you start running down there, that's when they really start getting you out of the game with the way they can just destroy you from three. So, if we played a little bit better offensively, if we, which is hard for us, if we would have played better offensively, we would have had a real chance down the stretch to win the game.
Sean McFarland?
You kind of touched on it, but down the stretch there, you had that 7-minute stretch where you didn't get a field goal. And that seems like one of those moments where you really want to find someone who's not James Bouknight to put the ball in the hoop. And over these next, last few games of the regular season, what's What's that process going to look like of finding that second or third guy who's not James Bouknight to score in those moments?
Yeah. So, this is James. This is James's second game in 5 days. So, I just got to have some patience. And now we're obviously a completely different team with James returning. We don't have much of a runway to get our act together. We don't play fantasy basketball. You've got to develop chemistry and feel again and a flow, and guys got to learn to play off each other better. I mean, he's literally been back for 5 days. So, he doesn't have to apologize for us being really choppy offensively. We just, returned this player. So just need a little bit of time to get our timing and execution down. The problem for us is, we don't have a lot of time. We've got 4 games left in the regular season to put this thing together and to play efficiently against a team of this caliber.
Tom?
Dan, no, obviously the circumstances are not the same, of course, exactly. But last year, when you think about where you were with 4 games to go last year and what you accomplished in those 4 games, do you feel like you can put it together and do that, have that kind of jump, that kind of run again this year? Do you see the ingredients for that?
Yeah, we're confident. We're confident. This is one of the best teams in the country. That we faced today, the class of our league, and I think we're capable. Credit them. They made far less mistakes, and their mindset is, championship level. We've got a chance to put something together down the stretch here. We don't have a lot of time. And we don't have much of a safety net. We've got to win down the stretch here. And we've got to get James's conditioning and his cardio back to level. And then we've got to put that chemistry together with the group quickly after missing him for 6 weeks. When you play an elite team and, a team of that caliber, I think that, that was a tough ask for James to come to put together a virtuoso performance with 1 game in 45 days and 5 practices. So we'll be better by the time the Big East tournament rolls around, and hopefully we get a chance to play them again.
Time for one more, Jeff?
Yeah, Dan, just kind of follow up on that thought process. Is James's cardio the most important thing here? That he was so devastating early in the game, and then they put the stops on him, and he looked a little tired. Or is the chemistry that has to come together with him in here more important? I mean, like you said, there's not much time left, but those 2 things are kind of like utmost importance.
Yeah, so your column, you're probably going to have to slash the headline because we need both. I mean, we need, these guys, we can't stand and watch James. We've got to continue to get movement. He's got to trust his teammates. He's got to get, in game shape. I mean, it's very, very difficult what we asked him to do. We've got to get more contributions. We've got to get, a better flow to our offensive game. Let me credit Villanova, the way they guarded. But, James got off to a blistering start, and they didn't change their defensive principles. He just, his conditioning got him. And then when he got tired, his decision-making got away from him.
If I could just follow up on one thing. Gillespie, if he played for Duke, he'd probably be the most hated player in America, but he plays for like Villanova, and you just got to admire the way he does. Does he foul when he goes in the lane? He's so aggressive horizontally after his pump fake. Does he foul on that move?
I thought the officials were outstanding today. They're physical. That he's physical, they're physical. I mean, we're a pretty physical team. It's Big East basketball. You got to be sturdier. He's a heck of a player though, hell of a leader, and you tip your cap. He made those big threes that iced the game.